Hey everyone, it's Anna Runyon here, and today I'm very excited to bring you another special guest as part of our Freedom Workshop series. I wanted to give you guys a chance to hear from women who are doing what you want to do, escaping their day job and growing a business they love. And I have the perfect person today to chat with you about that. Her name is Hilary Hartling, and she is a personal branding coach who helps professional and creative women entrepreneurs define their mission, vision, and values, which is so important, craft their brand stories, and attract ideal clients. And we're going to talk a lot about this today. I'm very, very excited to welcome Hilary to our Facebook group, Facebook Live.
Yay! Love being live, Anna. This is like what I do with you, apparently.
Apparently, yes. We were together when I helped Hilary do her very first Facebook Live a few months back in San Diego. So we just have to always take it to the next level.
That's okay with me. You push me to do better, so that's okay.
I love it. So let's rewind to the beginning of your business. When you were just starting, what were some of those fears that you were having when you were just thinking about starting your business just in the very beginning?
Well, this is actually coming on a really interesting day because just today I'm getting all these messages on LinkedIn like, congrats on your work anniversary, because I put in my start date it was a year ago today that I filed for my LLC, or I got my LLC. And so officially I'm 1 year old, but
Yay!
I actually was not working in what I'm doing now back then. So I think of my official start date as like January 1st of this year, because at the beginning, one of my biggest challenges was honing down what I was doing, because I could do all these things, but no one knew what to come to me for, because I was like, I'm marketing consulting, I'm branding for your business or for yourself, and I'm a certified high performance coach. And I can do all those things, but it's like, no, that doesn't work when someone's trying to be like, what do I need to come to you for? So at the beginning of the year, it actually became, everyone was hiring me for personal branding, and that's what I love to do. And so that just became my business, which I love.
So you had all these things you could do, and it was kind of like one of those challenges was narrowing it down into your focus.
100%. And which is why it took me so long to kind of like, I kept restarting CRP because I'm like, wait, no, it's this. No, it's that. And I feel like maybe a lot of people do that. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. And then I had a hard time really nailing my target audience, because I came from marketing movies at Disney, where literally on our sheet, it says target audience, everybody. That was our target audience. And we would break it down. We'd be like, primary audience is Disney families, and then we want moms and dads. But then it's like we want, older women, younger women, because we had to have a 4-quadrant movie for it to be successful. So I was used to just honing my message for each individual audience, but marketing it to everybody. And so like my brain hadn't like figured it out yet, how to do this online world where you really have to know your audience in order to speak to them correctly.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, it's so important. So what were some of those like challenges? Like what were you thinking right before you joined CRP?
I was thinking I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I mean, I honestly think the first thing I posted in CRP was about my other handle I had on Instagram that I was starting a blog on called Lemonade Porch.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You remember that? And I was going to create, and I still love this idea, by the way, and I actually might create Lemonade Porch as part of my existing business, but I was going to create retreats for women who needed to like step back, reconnect, renew, reinvigorate, reconnect with themselves. And I feel like that is a part of personal branding, because I feel like when you can step away from your normal everyday chaos, you can reconnect with who you are. And that goes a long way for helping you figure out who you want to be in your business too.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just it's so common to have all these different ideas when you start to, of all these ways you like could make an income or could run with, and people get scared to do anything because there's so many different ideas.
Yeah.
So how did you like narrow in on that one? Like, how did it just like feel right, or like, how did you know?
I had to work with clients first. I had to see what people were needing. So some of my first clients, I was doing marketing consulting, but for other coaches. And what I found was they needed a lot of the mindset work in addition to, figuring out who they are and getting over, it's hard to do it for yourself. that's what most people would agree with, right? It's like you could be a genius marketing person, but when you have to do it for yourself, it's like, here's a block, here's a block. It takes me twice as long, all those things. And so I started coaching them in addition to giving them marketing advice. And it just kind of morphed into this thing called personal branding, because it was all about figuring out, what are you most passionate about? How do you make that into your mission? Whether it was at that point going back to your 9-to-5 and getting more passion for that, or starting your own thing. Mm-hmm. So I was attracting, and I think this is why it's evolved, I was attracting versions of myself as my target audience. And that's one thing I really, really noticed. And it's true now too, but I work more with creative and professional female entrepreneurs because I have like gone all in on my entrepreneurial pursuits, and I had to like unsubscribe to the job boards because I was still looking at jobs. And I was splitting my energy.
Yeah. So I think this is so important. You like got started. So it's like, that's how you found the clarity. And the same thing happened to me too. When I was starting too, I got more clear on my target market and what I should be doing by getting out there and actually getting a client, putting yourself out there, making an offer, and then you just learn. So I think that's great.
Clients, yeah. And I think the other big challenge I had from the beginning is I was really trying to be clever. I was trying to be clever over clear, and I was trying to leverage my movie background, and like I was like, it's blockbuster branding.
I remember this.
Yeah. And I was like, and it was just unclear. And that's another good thing about CRP is like when you type something in and people you're like, oh yeah, that's not clear. Nobody understands what I'm talking about here. So it's a good community to be able to like test things out or survey or all the things that you want to, try out on people.
So where did you learn about Corporate Rescue Plan then?
I think you captured me from a Facebook ad.
Mm-hmm. Many people are saying that.
You're doing a good job. Yeah, no.
Well, that shout out to John, my husband. He manages all of our Facebook ads too.
So. But mine was a while ago. Mine was maybe a little over a year. It was over a year ago when I first joined.
I think it was even that. Yeah, it was even longer than that. I remember you've been with us for quite a while. But he was doing them then. Maybe not as good as now. Facebook ads are one of those things you keep on improving.
Well, I hadn't at that point. It's so funny because like once you're in the system where like now you know about Marie Forleo and all these people and like you just all the people. Like I was brand new to all of it, and like you were one of the first people that popped up for me, and I'm like, this sounds amazing. Do people offer these kinds of things? This is really cool. I think and at that point, what was appealing to me was I wasn't sure if I was going to go back and find my dream job again or if I was going to start my own. Yeah. And so, because you do both, I felt like that was really interesting, although I was obviously leaning towards entrepreneurship since I joined CRP.
Yeah. And that's like we don't want you to start a business if that's not what you're going to be fulfilled and happy with too. So it all goes back to that, beginning part too of figuring out that ideal career fit that's going to make you happy. So I'm glad that helped.
It did.
For sure. Awesome. So tell us like the commitment, the decision, like when you actually made the decision to join CRP, to commit to your business, what was that like?
It was, I needed something, like I needed a next step, and I needed to not feel alone doing it. And I was used to having a huge team of people to collaborate with and other divisions of the entire company to call in a moment's notice and be like, what about this? What about that? And I just, when you're an entrepreneur, it can be a little bit isolating and lonely. And so the fact that it would be this group and someone who's been there and done it and has done it successfully in you, it felt like a good place to be and a good place to start and just see what happened. So I just took the leap and did it with you.
Yeah, it is. It's the leap. And then once you make it, it's like, I did it. Like, I remember the same thing. I invested in myself too, made that leap. And it's like, then the plan becomes clear too. So I'm curious kind of like, what did you do first when you joined?
The first thing I did was I ignored the business plan. And because I just wasn't clear enough yet, to be honest. And I changed my mind so many times. So I really got into what's funny is what I do for other people, the mission, the vision, the why, all of those things that are the foundation of your business that you kind of have to do because it informs everything else. I have so many people who come to me and are like, I have this great logo. I took some photos. These are my colors. I'm branded. And I'm like, no, you're not.
Mm.
I was like, why are you doing what you're doing? Well, they can't answer. What's your mission statement? What's a mission statement? Like they just haven't figured out the main things that should actually inform what their logo looks like. What their branding looks like. That's just visual branding is the brand identity, and that's one spoke of the wheel. And there are like 11 other spokes to do a full branding. So you need a whole lot more than that. So I started there, and it's funny because I didn't have clarity on it, and it's because I didn't know exactly what I was going to do yet. And the interesting part is my basic branding package is called Personal Branding Clarity. Because that's what everybody wants,
Exactly. And it's so important too. I mean, I remember when I finally came out with my mission and my vision, and it's all on my about page now, I feel like people could connect to me so much more. Yeah. And they knew what this classic rural thing was all about, whereas before it was, it might have looked great, but I'm totally with you about figuring out what your purpose is. That's why we start with that purpose plan and really figure that out too. And I'm sure you do too.
Yeah. And I think part of it too is you can get really caught up in seeing what everybody else is doing, whether it's in CRP or not. It's just like everywhere, seeing what everyone's doing, whether they're shouting on Instagram or you're getting an email and you're diving into someone's funnel. It's like there's so many people doing it, and you kind of get caught up without meaning to in that comparison, like, oh, this is kind of what people are saying, so I should say something like that. And it's not true. You actually have to stick with exactly who you are in order to do it well, because otherwise you're being inauthentic and it will come across that way.
Yes. And I'm so glad this is coming up, because we did have another CRP member who I won't say who it is, but she just had a call with you and got super clear on exactly what you just said, because she was feeling so overwhelmed following everyone else and the online noise that's happening and stuff too. So I'm so glad that you commented on that, because I'm sure a lot of people in this group are feeling that and feeling like everyone else is doing it this way, but like what's right for you.
Totally. And I have to remind myself that
Me
too.
too.
Right?
Me too.
You see all these things and you're like, wow, that's really working for her. That's a cool angle. And it might even speak to you. It might be slightly on brand for you, but even then you have to like tweak it and make it your own, because otherwise it's just not going to work.
Yeah, exactly. Because other people's business, even I've learned like business models, some business models like don't fit me, but other people are doing great at them. But it's just, it doesn't, I don't like it. I don't love it, and that's like the whole point. You want to love your business. So
it's got to feel good. And then you're moving on the right track.
So you learned you did the mission, you did the vision, your values, like what were the actions that you started taking?
I mean, honestly, what I would say is that once I actually had some clients and I figured out that it was personal branding, then I actually went back to the beginning and did the business plan. And that's what really gave me clarity for how to price my things, like I started all my goals. I have my annual goals. I have my quarterly, like my 90-day goals. So that broke down to what I need to do monthly in my business. And from that, from having that business plan and getting clarity on that, I had my first $10,000 month in April. I repeated it in May. Yeah. And then it's beginning of June and I'm already booking clients. So it's good. When you're clear and you know what you're talking about and you can show the value, it works.
And Hilary is such a great example too, because she's staying consistent on this huge shout out to you. You're staying consistent on Instagram. Go follow her on Instagram at Hilary Hartling, because you're doing that. Your messaging is clear on Instagram and you're staying consistent. And I think that's two big things I've noticed about you too, which I think is leading to these amazing results, is your consistency, and then your messaging is very on point and clear. And it's personal. It's for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and Instagram is the place. And so it's funny, right now is where my goal this month is to grow outside of Instagram. Like I'm going to stay on Instagram. I'm really kind of focused on like my email marketing now and really getting that up and running. And so I created a freebie that I promoted on Instagram and got people to just DM me their email addresses.
I saw that.
Added them on, and it's going out tomorrow. So
Right.
yeah.
What's this freebie? What are you giving out?
Yeah, it's my what I call my power hour morning routine. It's how to own your morning, because honestly, that's the one thing when I was started to be inconsistent with keeping it up, my business declined. And so when I'm on it, I literally like just things show up for me. And it's on target. It's my people. It's because I'm clear about who it is. And so I basically give you in the downloads the 5 steps to create your own power hour, which I won't give away here, but you can, if you want it, you can email me or DM me on Instagram, and I'll send you the download.
What about Facebook? Since we're on Facebook, can they DM you on Facebook too?
They can. I'm actually on Facebook. I'm Hilary Hartling HQ.
Okay.
Is my business page.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you think life would be like if you hadn't decided to commit to your business, to your goals, and to the CRP business plan?
I wouldn't be anywhere. I wouldn't be booking clients. I wouldn't be clear about what I was up to. I would still be kind of wondering if I should go back and get a job, which would feel right now to me like a failure, because what I want to do is do what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. And you have that purpose for it too. Like it's what you're meant to be doing. And when you know you're in that, it's like, how can you go back to the job when you just know that this is what you're meant to do too?
It is. And it's been showing up in so many different ways for me. So I've been doing some guest speaking things too. And then I just did my first full day personal branding workshop for HGTV.
Awesome. That is amazing. Congrats.
Thank you. And they're going to bring out it's either going to be bringing all their management out to LA or me going to Chicago probably in October to do it for all their management.
Love it. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can tell us anymore, but like, what are some of the results? You know, you mentioned having the 10,000 months, which is huge. Like, what would you say some of the results that you've had?
I mean, I would say financial is number one, because like in order to sustain your business and grow your business, you need to have the money to do that. I would also say just the clarity in messaging, really, in order to attract your ideal client. It's what I talk about offering to people when you know your personal brand. That's what the result is. And that's the result I've gotten. So what other results have I gotten?
Your Instagram.
Oh, I'm growing my Instagram slowly. I'll also say, I mean, I've been gathering a bunch of wonderful testimonials from people that I've worked with. So I'm rebranding my website right now. Otherwise, I would shoot everyone over to my website, which is just hilaryhartling.com. But it's down right now because, of course, I'm finally doing what I do for others for myself. And I've rebranded the whole thing with my new look and feel that feels much more like me. And that's the ultimate compliment. It's like, I want people to go to my website and feel like, ooh, looks like totally like her. Yeah. And that's what people are when they walk into my house at home. Ironically, my branding colors look like my house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. So you wanted to make it match kind of who you are personally too. So I'm going to go, we have a couple comments coming in. So I'm going to check the comments that have come in, but I'd love for you to give us like, you know, your beginning basic personal branding tips for someone who's like just getting started.
Yeah. I mean, actually the first thing I do with clients, it's sort of their pre-work before we have our first session, is kind of doing what I call a personal brand perception check. And I have people ask loved ones in their lives, people they've worked with in the past, whether it be a boss, coworkers, people who've worked on their team, their husband, their wife, whoever it is, ask them for 3 words that they think describe them best. And so you start collecting all these words from everybody, and it's so funny. It sounds like such a simple exercise, and when people do it, they have all these aha moments, and they're like, and it's kind of like a validating, like, it's like a super warm fuzzy, because they're like, I didn't know you thought that about me. And so what I do with that is that it's just a really good beginning point to see, like, here's what everyone thinks of you now. Because by the way, you have a personal brand whether you're aware of it or not, because you are putting something out there, whether it's you or your business. And for a lot of people, because they have service-based businesses, you are the face of your business. So it's getting comfortable in being who you are and showing up in a visible way so people will know you, connect with you, and trust you and want to book you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really that.
I love that idea. So asking other people, what'd you say, the first 4 words that come to mind?
3 words.
Asking 3 words. I love that, because then I think part of it is just being more comfortable with who you are and your skin and what you're about to do in your company too. Because you want to bring your personal touch to your brand and to your company. And I know for me, like doing the Strengths Finder or the Strengths Quest, I think it's the same thing, but they call it 2 different things. That's when I really like became confident in like, oh, my strengths, like only I have these strengths, right? These 5 strengths. Other people on the internet, they have different strengths, but I'm going to create my brand and my business based off my strengths because only I have that, So then it feels less like everyone else is out there doing the same thing I am, when you can just be more confident in who you are.
Yeah, it's so true. And I often find that it's easier for people to start with what other people think before they have to get into what they think. But then they get to take all these things and they can take them or leave them, right? If that inspires what they want to choose for one of their 5 key brand words for their business, that's great. But if not, they can like leave them to the side and be like, that's not who I want to be for my business. I want to, and oftentimes like people might choose, say 3 or 4 that they already are. Like, this is who I am and this is how I'm showing up and this is what my business represents. But then they choose one word that's like who they want to be. And it's something to strive for, right? And it's really inspirational. So personal branding ends up being a way to run your business and get clear on your business, but it also ends up being a way to live your life.
Yeah, when you feel like it just fits and you are online and in person the same person too.
Yeah. Like it comes through as you.
This stuff is so important too. I mean, I feel like this wasn't around when personal branding, like none of that wasn't really around, and it's taken so long for me to figure out like to learn more about myself and the self-reflection and like really have my brand fit me for sure. Like I've done so many of these twists and turns. So I'm so glad that you're sharing this information because it's so, so valuable for people who are just starting their businesses. Are most of the people you're working with like brand new, or are they kind of been in business for a while, or what are you seeing like in the market right now?
I mean, it actually varies. I have definitely got a lot of brand new people because it is really the beginning of your business. But I have worked with people who've been in business for a while who just, it might be like a photographer, for instance, who has been doing the shoots, but now they're seeing so many more photographers. They're like, I really need to brand myself to differentiate myself from all the other photographers out there. So I really need to understand how to do that. And it's like, it's honing in and it's whatever you're passionate about. I have a friend, she actually is not my client, she's a photographer. Her branding is something about like wild hearts and free love. And like, literally that's the kind of clients that she attracts because she has defined her brand as that. She's like I take candid, I have a photojournalistic background, and this is what I attract, and this is what I can capture for you. And like, it's so clear that she's got people like, yes, that's me. I want to work with you immediately. She's branded herself for exactly who she is.
I love that. So not only is she getting the clients she loves working with, but it's like you're turning away the clients that aren't going to be the right fit that you don't want to work with.
Those end up being the clients that are really hard for you to work with, and you don't have fun working with them. And that's not why you created your business. You created your business so that you could live the work that you're passionate about.
Yeah, and to get excited with what you're doing.
Yeah.
So Tracy's with us. Hi, Tracy, another CRP member. And I think, are you guys in the Instagram pod together?
Wait, is this Tracy Medeiros?
Yes.
Hi, Tracy. Aloha.
Aloha. Yep. And Jen is here. Shout out to Jen because she scheduled all these case study calls. And so she actually is the one that made it happen. Because if I was on that, I don't think that would be happening, Hilary.
Good job. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah. So big shout out to Jen for making this happen. She says hello, and she says she loves the 3 words idea, Hilary. So thank you for sharing that. And Tracy just says, hi ladies. Awesome. So where can people find you, reach you? What if someone wants to get in touch with you? I know we mentioned it earlier, but we'll just say it again.
Yeah, I mean, Instagram is just at Hilary Hartling. It's one L in Hilary. So it's HILARY HARTLING. Or you can actually email me at Hilary@hilaryhartling.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Hilary, for being here. And everyone who's listening, make sure you are registered for our Freedom Workshop. We went live with the first video this morning, and we're getting a ton of great feedback inside of the workshop. There's comments coming in underneath the video, so make sure you check out those comments. I know I've been inspired by everyone who's having so many ahas going through the workshop. So if you want to sign up, if you want to get access to that first video that's available, you can sign up at www.corporaterescueplan.com/freedom. And I'll put that link below. I'll also put Hilary's link below too. So if you're watching this, if you're watching the recording, you can still access everything we talked about. And Hilary's in the Classic Girl Network. I'm in the Classic Girl Network Facebook group. So please reach out to us anytime. We'd love to help you guys and help you guys get started. So thanks, Hilary. Thank you so much for being here. Any last words of wisdom for someone who's just starting out?
Oh my gosh, just don't get overwhelmed. It can be overwhelming. I think you just have to take a deep breath. If you want my power hour, that might be a good way to start.
Yes, in the morning. I know I need to get back my power out. My daughter can now get out of bed by herself. So my morning power hours have completely changed.
Maybe something different for everybody, which is totally fine. But
exactly.
I found when I'm consistent with that, it makes all the difference in the world.
Yes. No, and that was crucial to my success of leaving my day job, is having that power hour. So if anyone is how am I going to have the time to grow a business with a day job or with another business or anything you're doing, get her power hour worksheet, because that is what helped me, is having that time in the morning to focus on my own goals rather than someone else's goals of going to work. So I think that would be awesome.
Well, thank you for having me, Anna. It was so awesome to see you again.
Of course, welcome, or thank you, and welcome everyone who is coming to our Freedom Workshop. We can't wait to see you in there. So have a good night, everyone. Bye.